I remember leaving couples therapy for the last time, sitting in my room and realizing this is not going to change. Welcome to A Gust of Win. I'm Augusta Joshua, and this is where we rebuild, reclaim, and rise after life's toughest moments. If you're on your journey of healing, rediscovery, or rebuilding your life from the ground up, you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to share my story, the breakdown before the win, and the moment I decided I deserve better. I remember leaving couples therapy for the last time, sitting in my room and realizing this is not going to change. I was tired of walking on eggshells. I was tired of trying to guess what version of peace I was going to come home to. I was tired of shrinking myself just to keep things calm. I wanted to be happy, not only for myself, not only for my son, but in my marriage. And when I realized that wasn't happening, I knew deep down I deserved more. When you birth a child, something in you changes. You see yourself through their eyes. I wanted my son to grow up with a happy mother, not a silent and complacent one. And that was the beginning of my awakening. During that time, I kept a journal, and I wanted to share a few entries with you all. First entry, the boundaries kept being crossed. I speak, but I'm not heard. I pour out, but nothing pours back. Second entry, I feel invisible, needed, but not valued. I'm loved in theory, but not in action. And I'm tired of confusing survival with partnership. Third entry, it's taken me years to understand this, but motherhood made the truth impossible to ignore. To raise a whole child, I have to stop living a lie. I knew my marriage was over in March of 2020, but I stayed, telling myself I could fix it. But I was trapped in a house by COVID and by fear. I was still trying to be the good wife, the good mom, the good everything, taking care of everyone but myself. And then my birthday came the following year in 2021. After feeling depressed for a year, I got dressed up and felt beautiful for the first time in months. And I remember coming down the stairs, and I was living alone because there was no acknowledgement, no effort. It was just silence. That night, celebrating with people I thought were friends, I looked around and I heard a quiet voice inside say, "Augusta, you deserve better." That Monday, I filed for divorce. I thought that process would be quick, easy, and clean. But you know what they say? The same person you marry is not the same person you divorce. What followed was a 3.5-year battle legally, emotionally, and spiritually. I lost friends. I lost money, a lot of it. And I lost myself for a while. But in that loss, I also found my truth. You can't heal what you won't name. And finally, I named it. I was worthy of peace. Take a breath. Let what you heard settle. This is a gust of wind. Therapy was my first step. Then journaling, pages and pages of raw honesty. Then I met a friend through a mom group who had been through her own divorce. She understood the battle I was fighting, and she guided me through some of the hardest moments. I started cutting out anything that did not pour back into me. I took myself on solo dates. I learned how to be alone without feeling lonely. I deepened my faith. And I began to like the woman that was staring back at me in the mirror, the one I ignored for years. And through that rebuilding, Resilient One was born. Because in my loneliness, I searched for support that did not exist. And when I couldn't find it, I created it. Resilience One became my answer to every woman who's had to start over without a map. It's proof that the hardest seasons can still produce something sacred. Maybe you're listening right now and you're recognizing pieces of yourself in my story. Maybe you're exhausted from fixing things that don't want to heal. Maybe you're craving peace, but scared of what it might cost you. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale the truth that you are still here. Exhale the lie that it's too late to begin again. You don't have to have it all figured out. Lord knows I didn't. You just have to decide that you're worth the figuring. Thank you for letting me share my story. Each week on A Gust of Win, we'll talk about what rebuilding truly looks like: the quiet moments, the small steps, the honest wins. Because when life knocks you down, you don't need a storm. You just need a gust of wind to move you forward. If this episode gave you a little gust of wind today, share it with someone who needs a reminder that rebuilding is possible. Follow A Gust of Wind wherever you listen to podcasts. And if this episode spoke to you, leave a review so more women can find this space. Remember, your resilience already won. Now it's time to live like it. Until next time, keep rising.